Hey you, welcome to A Study in Chaos. My name is Kat. I publish under the pen name Cat Leo, and I do stuff online at KatsChaosCafe, and we're gonna do things. So yesterday I talked about how this was not the plan. And I think I'm coming up with a plan. Like it's a slow work in progress, but I am coming up with a plan. And so I think the podcast is going to have a little bit of a structure to it. I think I might try and go back to the concept of the daily idea. The podcast will begin with a quick what we're gonna like an overview of what I would like to talk about in today in an episode, and then we're gonna talk about my previous days in intent, like what I had planned to do that day in my planner, and versus what I actually did, and what actually happened. So, and then we'll go on to the topic because hopefully what had happened won't take too long um for a going over thing. So this is kind of the thing I might do um drinking my coffee or setting up for the day, going over my planner for the day type of thing, because I'll look at what I did yesterday and so what still needs done and stuff like that. Yesterday I did more than I intended. So here is what I intended to do. I wanted to work on Briar's Hollow in the Archive Draft 1. I wanted to fix the connection with Substack, um, and the RSS feed, which, since you can hear this, where you can hear this, I did fix it, by the way. Um, I wanted to try and begin drafting a post for my Substack. I wanted to stream from 11 to 3. I wanted to work on and make trackers that you color in as you achieve the things. For the All the Words August that Maggie is sharing with us. Um, and I wanted to do the graphics for that as well. That was my plans or intentions for July 14th. So what did I actually do? I streamed from 11 to 3 on Twitch. So heck yeah. I did finish the graphics. I realized when I was working on the tracker that I messed something up, so I went back and fixed it. Cuz I had actually finished the graphics Sunday night, late Sunday night. While I was waiting for my clothes to dry because I kind of needed pajamas. Um and cuz I had worked on that so late, I should have known there would have been issues. So yesterday I caught an error I made, so I corrected it and uploaded and swapped out the correct files. So that is the August, All the Words August graphics done. I made a tracker. I actually made 12 versions of the tracker sheet to encompass the different plans and the different tiers for the writing editing challenge. So I did that, and I recorded and posted an episode here to A Study in Chaos, which was not in my plans, so that was a bonus thing. I did work on Briar's Hollow in the archive. I realized that I didn't post chapter 10, the first draft, because I post first draft chapters to my Substack. So if you want to read first draft chapters of my writing, check out my Substack, catleo.substack.com. Also located in the description, show notes down below. You can follow me there. So I did that. I listed, now I'm going into, so I posted chapter 10, and then I actually got words into chapter 11. I wrote in total about 1,000 words yesterday. Yeah, I wrote about 1,000 words. Maybe a little over, maybe a little. I know I reached 1,000 for sure. Um, and then I listed the tracker for August, the All the Words August, because that isn't like a required thing. That's not like a thing everybody has to do. I listed that on my Ko-fi. as like a little bonus thing if you want it, for $0 or pay what you want. So if you can afford to give me like toss me a dollar, that's cool. If not, that's cool too. It's there because I feel awkward putting a price on something that's for a community type challenge that was made by a friend. So you can get like the trackers on my Ko-fi, which is ko-fi.com/KatsChaosCafe. In my shop, there's there's the tracker sheets designed on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. I printed the tracker for myself, which my printer did a glitch and removed one of the honeycombs. But my friend Glory downloaded and printed it because she was like, "You might be motivating me to write," and I was like, "Oh, really?" I'm so happy and honored to be an inspiration. Um, and it printed just fine for her. So my printer had a weird glitch. It's fine. It's okay. So, and then I also worked on, because I just enjoy making the trackers. This was not on my plan at all. I ended up making a tracker for September that has little mushrooms that you color in when you achieve the thing each day. An October one, which has various like Halloweeny type cute little colorable images. And then for November, I made a pie one. So that'll be out on my Ko-fi as well if you want a tracker. And that one is a non-specific tracker. So that tracker sheet can be for whatever you want to track. If you want to track your word count, like every time you color in a thingy, that's 500 words, do that. If you want to fill in for the September mushroom theme, if you want to fill in or color in a mushroom for achieving proper hydration for the day, that's cool. If you have to take medicine every day and coloring in the little design helps motivate you to take your medicine, that it can help track that. So I made those ones are nondescript trackers. I will probably make specific type trackers as well, but those are going to be listed on my Ko-fi. It'll be fall 2025, so it'll be September, October, and November sheets. For those 3 printable pages, it's going to be $1 or pay what you want type of thing. Just as a, because I genuinely enjoyed making those. Like, it was really relaxing for me to make those. So there we go. Now, so that was what had happened was yesterday. So that is what I planned to do yesterday on July 14th and what I did. Now today, what I actually want this episode to be about, which we're already almost 8 minutes in, is in a previous episode, I talked about my struggle with reading, and I want to get back into reading. I used to devour books, and I mean devour books all the time. They were a constant thing that I was read. If I was somewhere, I had a book. I have distinct memories. My dad went hunting. It was hunting season, and I went with him. I wasn't actually hunting. I don't have a hunter's license. I don't shoot. I don't use a gun. But my dad, like, he has a hunting license, and he was going deer hunting, and it was like we were spending the weekend together. Because I didn't go to my mom's that weekend, so I just stayed with him. So our bonding was quietly talking in the truck while he drove between hunting spots. And then I stayed in the truck while he would be. This is like redneck hunting. I'm sorry. You're all like, you were hunting in a truck? Yeah. Like on a 2-track, we were in the truck. It's fine. But I was reading a book, and one of my dad's friends had come out and was talking to him, and they were lowly talking because you don't want to be too loud, but it's okay to make some noise. And my dad like leaned over, like got the rifle out, leaned over the hood of his truck, and I was reading, and my dad like fired off the gun at the deer, and he hit the deer. Um, and his friend like was watching me the whole time. Like his friend glanced over and was watching me as my dad like leaned over the hood of his truck. Um, and his friend made a comment. Um, my dad, I didn't hear it because I was reading and not paying attention because I was still in the truck. His friend, my dad told me about this afterwards, was his friend said she never looked up from the page. She never jumped, she just turned the page. Um, because I, like, as a little kid, like, if sometimes my dad would take me out hunting with him, even if I wasn't hunting, because that was a time that we could spend together. I went fishing with my dad. That's how we spent time together. Because my dad worked a lot. From a low income family, like, your parents work a lot. So anytime that we could spend together, we spent together. So I went fishing, I went hunting. My dad went to help somebody fix up something. I went with him. And most of the time I had a book with me. Once I got to an age where I was reading on my own and able to read and not struggling as much as I did when I was little. So I read a lot, and to not read and for my brain to be fighting reading is so annoying and so frustrating. So I've been, since that episode, by the way, the reading became work episode, I've been trying to think of ways to get myself back into reading, to motivate myself, like my brain, to read. And sometimes I'm kind of competitive. I'm not super competitive, but I'm a little competitive. So like I like writing challenges and stuff. Because I was like, it's a challenge. I'll give that a shot. So, at the beginning of July, um, I wasn't feeling that great, so I was just scrolling through YouTube because I was just laying there in bed, uh, just grumbling, um, in pain, um, and pain or sick because I've was in pain or sick this month. That's been my month. Um, I started seeing the HRCYED, hardest reading challenge you'll ever do. Um, Videos of people getting ready for HRCYED 2.0. HRCYED was started by Cordy, Stephanie at QWordy on YouTube. I'll put links to the announcement for HRCYED 2.0 in the description, and as well as a link to Q's channel. I have actually, like, I've been on streams with Q. Um, I've been in Discord chats with Q. Like, I would consider a not a full friend, but a close acquaintance. Like, we could easily be friends. But we're like more of a close acquaintanceship. Q is friends with some of my friends. And I would happily be like hang out with more with Q. It's just our paths don't always cross. Like, they don't always sync up. Um, and I was like, I'll look at it. I don't know if I'm gonna do it, but I'll look at it because I watched 5 videos on it, and then I was like, I'm gonna go to Q's Discord because I'm in Q's Discord, and I was like, I'm gonna go look at the HRCYED resources and stuff because they were talking about the spreadsheet, and I opened the spreadsheet. Oh my god, this spreadsheet is gorgeous. I just want y'all to know that I love spreadsheets, and this is a gorgeous freaking spreadsheet. Um, Spreadsheets, man. I love spreadsheets. I aspire to make spreadsheets this nice, okay? Like, that is goals right there. Um, and there's a bingo board, and initially it's like, oh, it's a 25 bingo board, right? That's not too difficult. But then, like, in the spreadsheet, you can click in the bingo board, and it'll take you to the tab in the spreadsheet, the little sheet for the spreadsheet, um, for that specific bingo piece. And it's like, this reading challenge, if you did not double dip your books, if you did not use books for 2 challenges, you somebody did the math and it's like 200 and something books for this reading for this year long. So it's a year long reading challenge. There's a reason it's the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do. Um, so I decided, you know what? It's worth a shot. Maybe it'll help get me out of the slump and get me back into reading. Um, and you know what? I have listened to an audiobook. It was a short one, and it was a juvenile nonfiction book. It was really entertaining. I liked it. It was about spooky lakes by Geo Rutherford. Highly recommend. Very interesting. I learned about lakes, and I kind of want a copy of the book. I like a physical copy. Um, And so I read an entire book. I am halfway through a second book. So right there is more books than I've read in 2 years, 2.5, 3 years at least. Um, so heck yeah, there are some caveats to it. So the actual challenge doesn't. You're not supposed to reread books. Um, Q did clarify that it's like if you read the book over 10 years ago, that doesn't count as a reread anymore. If you don't remember anything about this book, that it's not a reread anymore. So that is good clarification because actually any book I would have reread would have been in that time frame anyway. And I don't remember most of them. Uh so for me, I was like, I'm gonna reread books just because I'm trying to relearn and retrain my brain to love reading again or to enjoy reading again. It doesn't even have to get to the point of love again, like I did when I was younger. So I'm doing HRCYED. And I've actually completed one of the bingos. I did the complete any readathon. I tried to do the Summerween one, and I did get sick during it. Like that's when I was like really, really sick. So, and I didn't even have the like wherewithal or energy to just turn the audiobook on and listen to it while I was sick. I just sat there in silence, staring at the wall, waiting to get nauseous or waiting for the nausea to subside. Like it was not a pleasant time, but that's fine. It's okay. Everything it'll work out. It's fine. So I've already started and I already checked off one of them because even though I was really sick, I still managed to do it or mostly do it, and I'm gonna count it as complete. There's some wig. I'm giving myself a lot of leeway here, okay? Especially as someone who hasn't been reading, who just is doing this to try and re-find a love of reading. I want to fall back in love with reading. So I'm doing it. I read, let me go to the tracker tab. So I read Spooky Lakes, 25 Strange and Mysterious Lakes That Dot Our Planet by Geo Rutherford, which is only a 2.5 hour long audiobook. I listened to it. It counted towards the readathon prompt and the avatar prompt because, of course, it had water on the cover. So I went that. And then I'm almost finished. I'm like halfway through Death's Acre Inside the Legendary Forensic Lab, The Body Farm, Where the Dead Do Tell Tales, by William M. Bass and John Jefferson, a forensic anthropologist who founded the Body Farm, which is really cool. And it's quite interesting. I am a huge fan of the TV show Bones. Like I've been rewatching a lot of Bones, but I feel like that ain't like when I saw this book, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna check that out. So I did. And I feel like that tracks with the like I've been really into Bones. Um, like the face I make when they're talking about some of it is like, huh, intriguing or the fascinating look on my face. Um, it's quite weird. It's like I'm listening to them talk about decaying bodies and I'm just like, fascinating. Which, who knows? This might be useful information for a book later on or a project later on. I don't know. We'll see. So, I'm working on falling back in love with reading and I'm trying out HRCYED, the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do. Round two, specifically. So, HRCYED 2.0. I'm not doing HRCYED 1, I'm doing HRCYED 2.0. And we're gonna see how this goes. Okay? Um, so uh thank you so much for listening. If you have a few pennies to throw my way, you can check out my Ko-fi, kofi.com/KatsChaosCafe. If you want to support me and get random snippets of my writing while I write, you can be a member on Patreon or my KatsChaosCafe.com. And or a member on Substack. Members on Substack don't really get the random snippets. So I'm learning things, guys. I'm figuring things out. But I do post my rough draft to Substack anyway, so it's fine. The snippets are just like the days I'm writing. If I don't finish the chapter, that chapter just doesn't get posted that day yet. It gets posted when I finish drafting. Sometimes I post like 4 chapters in a day to Substack. because, or I schedule them back to like day after day, just so I don't have one coming out every day. Um, but thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a great day. Don't let the chaos take you. Have a great day.